Hey guys, Andrew with Fujikura, joined here by Marshall Thompson. We're two representatives here to answer a couple questions that we've been getting with AXIOM and the increased usage. One of the most common questions we get is just kind of a general overview of AXIOM. The highlights for me is that it's the first iron that we've included VeloCore technology. The reason why that's so big to us is because obviously it was really popular in the woodshaft line, performed really well, but we wanted to test and make sure that those same performance gains that we saw in the wood shafts also translated to irons. We didn't just want to throw VeloCore into an iron just because we could. Through testing and Enzo data, we saw all those gains.
Being able to control the face, right, which is what made VeloCore so popular in the wood lineup, was resisting of twisting and being able to allow for center face impact location, but also controlling the face. To me, that's very, very important in the irons. And the EI profile is a little unique than we've done in anything in the past. It's got a softer midsection, which will help for a little added launch, a little bit more spin and control in the face. It sounds like a deadly weapon to me. One of the most common questions we get is there a particular weight or flex that I should be playing based on my club head speed? And Andrew and I, we've never fit a player based on how fast they move it, right? If you're looking for a little added speed, why not try something that's a little bit lighter, maybe in the 105? The AXIOM iron shafts are available in 75, 105, and 125. 125 is usually for the harder, faster swingers of the golf club, and the 105s for kind of someone in between. That 105 is kind of the sweet spot where I see a majority of people go into, but if you're looking to try something that's a little lighter weight, why not try something at 75 grams to see if we can get maybe a little added club head speed, maybe a little added ball speed. You'll be able to hit it further, but it'll also feel really good.
And the beauty, even in dropping weight with graphite compared to steel, is that we see no loss in stability, right? So steel is an isometric material, meaning if it gets heavier, it has to get stiffer. If it gets lighter, it has to get softer. We don't have to worry about that. The sandbox with graphite and composite materials is really wide open. So you can go to a 75 gram shaft, you can play stiff in that weight, and it'll still feel as stiff or stable as something that you typically would play heavier, and you would still be able to gain some speed and even get some height and spin, which is really hard to come by these days.
So Andrew, one of the questions we keep getting is, are these good in longer irons, and what about wedges?
Yeah, absolutely. These are great in longer irons because we get a little bit added launch and a little more spin for some stopping power. And wedges, we're looking at great consistency and hitting those windows that we really want to see when we're trying to score.
Love it. So Andrew, I know some of the differences between steel and composite, but give me some of the benefits and why somebody should think about making the switch going from steel to composite.
So composite, the sandbox is completely wide open for what we want to do design-wise, and so steel is an isometric material, meaning if you get heavier, it has to get stiffer. Or if it's going lighter, it's going to have to get softer. With graphite, we can totally stretch those boundaries as far as we want. And so we could have something that's really heavy and really soft, or we could have something that's light and extremely stiff. And so there's really no sacrifice you make when you go to something that's a little bit lighter, so you can pick up some speed without sacrificing any stability.
So with the steel product, you're saying that anytime something changes, something else has to change with it, like a weight, a tip flex, a butt flex, a torque, versus graphite is a little bit more independent and we can design it exactly how we want it to fit.
Yeah, correct. That's it.
Andrew, what other shafts in Fujikura's lineup, what do we have available and how does it compare to our AXIOM lineup of product?
Yeah, so we also have Vista Pro, which is a family that is 40, 50, 60, 70 grams. So obviously lighter than AXIOM, it'll launch higher and spin more. And the biggest difference to me is that AXIOM is our only iron shaft that integrates VeloCore technology. And not only that, it's in a 75, 105 gram and 125 gram offering compared to the lighter profiles that we find in Vista Pro.
So Vista Pro being good for somebody who's maybe looking for a little added club head speed, a little added feel. It's hard to spin a golf ball these days from what we've seen. The golf ball doesn't spin, the iron lofts have gotten a little bit stronger. So if you're in that category, maybe a Vista Pro lineup of product and being a little lighter weight might move it a little faster, and being a little bit softer in the tip section might allow it to launch a little bit higher and get that added spin that you need to hold a green. So there's always been a stigma, as far as I can remember, about composite golf shafts being your grandpa's graphite and somebody that's a slower swing speed that needs to play these irons, but we don't find that particularly true. Can you allude to maybe some of the reasons of why somebody might make a switch from steel to composite?
Yeah, so we've always had an added benefit of having vibration dampening through impact with irons. And we also see that in the design, we can really stretch bending profiles and torsional stiffness and even overall profiles to create different windows, launches, and help the player hit the shot that they're really wanting to hit without sacrificing any stability or even weight.
So we can make these things as stiff as rebar, and they're not built for somebody that swings it slow. They're also built for somebody with speed that's going to, benefit from the control and maybe the design that we did from a torsional and bending point of view. Somebody might add some more consistent spins, more consistent launches, better descending angles. There's a lot that we can do with the composite side, and I think it would be good for anybody that's looking to play their best. Hey guys, thanks so much for sending in your questions. If there's anything that you would like to see, please leave a comment below. Please follow us on all of our social media channels and go see a Fujikura authorized charter dealer and go get fit.